Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at this Two of Wands. We have Mars in Aries, right? This is a special card for you because this is really like, this is your kind of like leadership style that when your power really shines with this card, okay? It's a card of control. I think you're somebody that is taking ownership. I think you're taking a stand. I think you're stepping up to life. I think that you are empowered, and you are bold, and you are brave, and you're in control of yourself, and I think that you're trying to control as much as you can. This card gives us a little bit of a warning. It says, let's not be too domineering in life. Let's not try to control everything. With this card comes a healthy dose of the realization that we can't control everything. You're doing the very best that you can do. The rest is up to the divine, up to the universe, you know? And so I think that you're somebody who is really leading your life. Maybe you're leading a group of people. Maybe this is at work, at home, at school. You are stepping up with the good ideas. I think you are a good idea machine. And I think that you really want your ideas to sort of win, you know? And so I don't feel like right now you really appreciate a lot of opposition. It's kind of like you just want people to stay out of your way because you know what you're doing and you got the good ideas, so it's like, don't challenge you, you know? I think people probably will challenge you. I think you're probably being challenged anyway. So we need a little bit of temperance with this card. We need a little bit of balance. Let's see what we get, you know? Let's put this card into a little bit of context and let's see what's going on. This is very strong energy, very assertive energy, okay? I think that your life is changing because you're changing it. You are intentionally changing your life to, oh, come on. That deserves a bell. Two of Pentacles, fire and earth. Your life is changing. This is the card of change because you are changing it. I didn't know that card was in there. I knew it was in there, but I didn't know where it was. That's crazy. You intentionally are changing your life. You are asserting yourself, and this is going to be great. Your life is changing because you are setting the intention and you are following through with that intention. You're changing everything you can, and the rest you are changing you. So it's all change. This is intentional change, right? You're controlling everything you can control in your environment, within yourself and in your environment. Everything that you cannot control, you are adapting to it by controlling yourself, by changing what you do in response to what the world does. You have to change what you're doing to conform to me sometimes, yeah. But the rest of it, the world happens, and we've got to figure out how to get along in there, how to move forward, and how to keep things going, you know? Anyway, this is awesome. Fire and earth, the spiritual electrical circuit of creation. Let's keep going. We have, oh yeah, we've got the Eon Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, a Baptism by Fire. You have a 6 of Swords, a 9 of Pentacles, and the Sun card. Everything is going according to plan, okay? Everything is going according to your plan. Don't get too confident or too complacent with that. Because when we think things are going according to plan, that's usually when plans will change. It's usually when the universe will do something that will change things for us. Okay, so just to be on the lookout for that. We still have the Path of the Serpent to put out on the table. There we have the Lover's card. You got the Fool card. You got your Aries power card with the Emperor energy. Beautiful energies here. And we have a Queen of Cups. The depth and the significance of what you are doing. This represents your future self kind of looking back at all of this, processing all of this and how this really worked so that you understand what it means to you. The kind of the spiritual, emotional depth of it, the significance of what you're accomplishing here. I think your whole life is changing. I think it's going to be unimaginable. Well, you did imagine it because you planned it this way. So let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it over here. And we'll give our sea turtle friend a break. Let's use Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see some really good major arcana energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 majors. We've got fire. You've got water. You've got air. And you've got earth. Very, very balanced. It's like half spirit and half you. Okay? So you're controlling the things that you can control, and the rest you are adapting to. The Two of Pentacles here is really the latter half of that. With the Two of Wands, you're trying to control everything. The message or the lesson or the quest for you is to let go of some things. Let go of your need to control everything and let things happen. And then you respond to those things. So it is about balance. You know, it is about how you are setting the intention and you're causing change and conformity with your will. This is magic, right? This is literally the definition of magic here. And you know, I think we have to observe how the universe responds to our magic, and then we adapt accordingly. Okay, some way you have to let go and trust the universe a little bit. Yeah. I think a sign is going to appear for you very soon. Spirit saying, look for the signs, follow the signs. Maybe this is the kind of the sun. Maybe look for solar symbols and you know, sun imagery and things like that to as guideposts along the way. Okay. Now, there's something about gardening here. Do you do gardening, or there's some kind of like I don't know if you went to a garden store or some kind of a convention or some kind of an expo or a place where people were showing off their plants, something like that. Yeah. With the Six of Swords back here, Spirit saying that you actually like wrote down your whole plan about what you wanted to accomplish and how you wanted it to work. And then I think you started doing that action. This is literally like a notebook full of like plans, like a step-by-step kind of guidebook that you wrote or something like that. You know, it's like you wrote the recipe. Yeah. And now I think that you have that plan. You've plotted your course. And now you are navigating that course, controlling everything you can, but realizing that the seas are going to do what they do. The ocean's going to do what it does, you know. And then, of course, the solar sun card here, the victory, the pleasure, the pride, the success and joy, the health and well-being, whatever this plan is for you, whether it's something physical or financial, mental, emotional, or spiritual, creative, or in every dimension, you're going to achieve success. You're going to see very soon all of the wonderful results of your plan. You have everything here is, I don't even want to touch it. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. You have your very active will. You're trying to control everything within reason, okay? You have this energy that can control a lot. Leadership, assertiveness, this boldness, a self-confidence that needs to be kept in check so it doesn't become domineering, right? But this is a wonderful leader. And then, of course, very active, right? And then, of course, you have your passive earth energy, which is about how you are then responding to what the world does. Okay? And Spirit's saying that we had kind of like, in the past, we had like some wasted energy, or there was a lack of clear intention. And so I feel like what Spirit is really trying to tell you to do is to, appreciate how all of this organization is really helping you. Because one thing about our Two of Wands is that sometimes it's impulsive. Sometimes it doesn't really have a plan. It just has a will. It just has this kind of dominating energy. But if you've got a plan behind you, that really is what's making the grade here for you. That you took the time to do this. And maybe when you were back here with your Six of Swords, trying to organize everything, make the right connections, draw up the paperwork, like whatever it was, maybe you felt like this was not progress. That you don't like brainstorming and writing things down and planning and organizing and drawing up the paperwork because it's a waste of time. You should be out there doing something, fire and earth, right? You should be out there, moving the mountain itself. But this is like, first you have to figure out how you're going to move the mountain. Yeah. So this is all of that like engineering kind of work. Before you start moving the mountain, you've got to plan for how. You got to do the calculations. You got to figure out what materials you need, and then you go and move the mountain. I think you're in the mountain moving phase right now, but you're very thankful that you did the planning phase, very, very pleased with yourself that you stayed in kind of control of yourself. You didn't let your excitement carry you away. You did things in kind of, you are currently still doing things in the right order. A step-by-step kind of thing. You're not trying to run before you can walk. Yeah. This is the perfect spread. I want to take a picture of this. Because this is everything that you need. We even have the Emperor in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. Because you're concerned about how good of an emperor you're being. This is your power card. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but this is a spread that just deserves equal attention, I think. The reason why this is in the position of your fear, worry, and concern is because you're very self-aware. You're reflecting on, you're asking yourself, what kind of emperor am I being? What kind of a boss am I being? What kind of a person am I? Are you being too overbearing and dominating? Or are you being balanced, fair, strong and energetic, but also kind of open and serving and yielding at the same time? Fire and earth, active and passive, okay? So you have self-awareness, and sometimes this isn't so apparent with people. Sometimes we don't have this, and you want to just keep pushing forward and breaking down doors, rather than kind of reflecting on how you're behaving, how you are expressing yourself and your energy. Okay? Because you're concerned. This is a little bit of a humility. This is a humbleness. So you actually are somebody that is concerned with how you're behaving and how good or how just or how fair or how balanced of a leader, a boss, a business owner, a parent, a citizen, a person, a human being, a spirit, how balanced you are. So this is a good position for this card. We don't want to let that become too much humility or self-deprecation or self-denial, but it's good that you have that balance because you're able to act in such an assertive way and try to control everything and really be, and I mean that in the best possible, like being the boss, being such a strong leader, but also having the ability to reflect and say, am I a good leader? Would I want to be my own boss? You have that kind of humbleness and humility, and I think this is beautiful. I really do. Okay. Underneath the surface, you have the Eon card. Judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire. This is a doorway that you're very aware of. I think you are intentionally leveling up your life. Yeah. I think that, well, you know what? This is a divine doorway. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card. making a decision, saying yes, there you go. Kissing the ground and touching the sky, your soul is now set to leap and fly. Well, that's exactly what the Fool is doing. And these two positions in the Dove and Serpent spread, remember I always say that, these two cards, these two positions are very intimately connected. So are these two, okay? But these two for sure, right? So you're saying yes, you're staying grounded, you got your feet on the ground, but you got your head in the clouds. And that's perfect because you're able to then leap and fly and soar through life with freedom, with joy, with this leaping laughter, right? Your soul is set to leap and fly. Unrestrained, unencumbered, not weighed down by baggage or karma. You're setting yourself up to go through this doorway. You're leveling up your life in a way that you're free in some way. You know, free to travel around the world, financially free, unburdened. Your soul is you're setting your own soul free. And it feels like tremendous joy and love and beauty and fun, you know, fun. So that doorway beneath the surface, this is a definite decision. And I think that you're reaffirming this decision every day. Every day you're going into this doorway where you're saying like, yesterday was yesterday. Today, I'm going to do everything I can to do my magic, fire and earth, to manifest my reality, to assert my influence over the world, and then to react to how the world responds to me and I respond to it, and becomes this dance. This is the spiral dance between you and the universe. Mystery card probably will be the world. Or the Empress, maybe. Yeah. So this is the choice every day, to wake up to every day and say, today is the day. Today is a new day. You're reborn every moment. Reborn every moment. Because you have this Lover's card. You have this commitment. This is your general energy. It's one of a heck yes, 1,000% choice. Every day you wake up and you're choosing this path. You're choosing this work, this life, this relationship, whether it's at work, at home, at school. I think it's everything. Okay? You're choosing your life every day, and you're marrying yourself to it. You're committing yourself to it. You're restating that oath, maybe through positive affirmations or through really mirror mantra, you know. It's like every day you're kind of signing that contract again between you and the universe. It says, you're doing this. Every day you wake up, it's a new day. And you're going to do the very best that you can do today. I don't think you compare yourself to who you were yesterday. You just try to do your very best in every moment. Yeah. This is stunning energy. Up above the surface, you have your Nine of Pentacles. This is gain. This is progress. This is what you're looking at. It's like there's some kind of a meter, some kind of a gauge up above you, and you're seeing that, okay, things are going in the right direction. This card is all about the line going up and to the right. Progress, gain. Things are working on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Everything is interconnected. Everything meets in the middle. Your human heart and mind, the air and the water, okay? So with this card, it feels as if you're probably doing something on the physical plane, whether it's, you know, exercise or some kind of work thing, your career stuff, something financial, if it's whatever it is. It's corresponding to progress on your physical and financial plane, of course, but also the mental, emotional, and the spiritual creative planes. Everything is interconnected. Everything affects everything else. This is the card of progress. This is the card in conjunction with our Two of Wands. See, now with the Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, we understand that life's going to have ups and downs and twists and turns. The Two of Pentacles is how you respond to the ups and downs and twists and turns of life. The unexpected changes and the emotional roller coaster, right? Ups and downs and the twists and turns. And that's how you respond to that. That's how you try to control the situation so that your journey can be as straight and as smooth as possible. And the Two of Pentacles is, of course, it's not always going to be straight and smooth, is it? Sometimes it's going to be ups and downs, twists and turns. And you understand that. So since you're your chart, your what line graph or whatever is going up and to the right. You're making progress. Things are getting better, bigger, greater, grander than they were. But you understand on the day-to-day, you want to try to do your very best every day, right? Waking up every day and committing yourself to this life. But you know that every day might have a little bit more of the ups and downs and twists and turns than we would like. You look at any chart that goes up and to the right, and you zoom in on it, it's going to be made up of a lot of ups and downs. The days are going to go up and down, up and down, up and up and down. But overall, you're making that progress. So that's what we have with these two energies. These are the ups and downs. This is the overall progress. Things are getting so much better for you. You know that the overall progress of your life is made up of a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wins, a lot of losses. But this is the bigger picture. Okay? And so having that perspective, having that ability to reflect is allowing you to maintain your confidence even when you kind of end the day, you go home and you think, well, today wasn't the best day. Tomorrow's another day. We wake up again, we sort of, we put our feet on the ground, we kiss the sky, and we're ready. Today's another day. I'm going to do my very best today to make this path as productive, as successful as possible today. I'm not trying to compare it to yesterday even, but just today as one unit. And do one day and a night, Trying to do the very best that you can do in any given day. Not in reference to what it was yesterday. Maybe yesterday was a loss. Maybe yesterday was up. Maybe yesterday was down. Doesn't matter. Make today the best it can be. Respond to the universe, and the universe will respond to you, and it'll be that dance. We're going to dance today. Maybe yesterday you were really good at dancing, or not so much. Today, you're going to dance like it's the biggest dance of your life, And so I think this is really a wonderful perspective, because then our emperor in this position is not getting too worn down by the ups and downs, not losing the confidence, not losing that assertiveness or losing that vital energy, not losing motivation, not being so humbled that we're crushed, but kind of saying, like, you're ending the night saying, yeah, wow, today humbled me. Okay, tomorrow's another day. Every day we wake up, we're reborn. The rebirth card, remember. Every day we wake up, we're reborn. Every day we're waking up, we're saying yes to this life. We're going to make today a good day. And today's going to have some degree of up or down. But you're maintaining your confidence, your perspective. You're maintaining your enthusiasm and your motivation, even when you have some days that aren't as successful as you would have liked. That's okay. Because your overall progress, again, you're gaining on the spiritual and creative planes for sure. And I think that is sort of trickling down to the mental, emotional growth and the financial or physical growth. That is a mirror image of this, right? We have above and below. The Sun card is self-awareness, clarity, but this is also the card of just a crowning achievement. You're wearing the solar crown of your glory, right? I think that this is somebody who knows who they are, knows why they're here, and is living that life, traveling that cosmic orbit. I think that you are, this card is really the center of the tarot table today. This is the center of your solar system. It is you. It is your spirit. It is your vibrant energy, your charisma, your charm, your energy, your illumination. Okay, you are radiating out a warm and loving light to the world. You have done the karmic work. You've untied a bunch of knots of karma over the years. You have cleared away a lot of blockages, and you are channeling this light. This light is shining out from you. The rest of the world, people around you can feel it. You're shining your light brightly, okay? But this light is also revealing the path to you, the yellow brick road to your Emerald City, to your Big Rock Candy Mountain, to your best life. Maybe the mystery card's going to be the Empress, perhaps. Or the Ten of Pentacles, maybe, Ten of Cups. But this is a fully activated spiritual being. This is a full-on magician type of energy where that light, you're a clear channel for that divine light. You have the right balance of energies. I mean, every card here is just perfect. And I hesitate to say that, but it really is. Okay. Now, part of this, though, is that you don't want to put everyone else's needs before your own. Make sure that you are sort of refueling yourself enough so that you can keep this going. You don't want to burn the candle at both ends and deplete your energy. It may feel like the sun is an infinite power source, but it's not. Eventually, it will fuse together all of its internal elements and there'll be nothing left to burn. Okay? So make sure that you're having the rest. And I think that the balance here is important too with the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. It's saying, you know, let's understand, let's blend together these ideas of effort and rest, you know, of active striving and then the sort of yielding, knowing when to run and when to sort of, you know, kind of stand still for a time, so that you don't deplete your energy. You don't burn your fuel too fast, and then you end up getting crushed under the weight of your own mass, like a dying star, you know. So I think we need that equilibrium. Maybe the mystery card's going to be Temperance, or it could be the Justice card now, right? Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The Lover's card is that, heck yes, 1,000%, okay? And I think that this is your oath, this is your commitment. You are choosing this path, this life, or the unfolding of this plan every day. Every moment you're choosing this. And I think that it's kind of a repeat thing. Every day is a new day. We keep Spirit's emphasizing that idea that, you know, this is like a 24-hour unit of time that is repeating. And you have to just, every morning when you wake up, you're a new person. You're born again. You have to restate your commitment, look in the mirror, do your mantra, do your prayers, whatever it is, and recommit to something and say, this is the day, and go out and do the day, right? Seize the day. So this is kind of how we have to restate our oaths. You know, we have to renew that commitment. We're kind of renewing the vows here. And this is the Lover's card. It doesn't have to be romance, right? It very rarely is romance, actually. This is the card of choice. You're committing to something, and everything else is not even on your radar. This is it. And I think that this is not about you finding one thing in life, that you're just going to do that one thing and then neglect every other part of your life. No. Because remember, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Your entire life is going up and to the right, not just one project or one job or one relationship. It's everything. So this card really is about you understanding what's important to you, focusing on the things, plural, the things that matter to you in your life and disregarding the rest. Knowing how to commit to those things that are important to you and not get distracted by, not let your energy get distracted by any of those other things. Okay? In your physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative lives, these are the things that are important. That's a whole life. It's not just one relationship or one job or one hobby. Okay? It's your entire life. And so the choice you're making is not to one person necessarily or one job. It's to your life generally, right? And so that's kind of waking up with that renewed commitment. And of course, our fool in the environment, you're such a happy person right now. I feel like you're just kind of, you're very bouncy, very like, very fun, very light, very free. And I think that this is really, you know, this is about you enjoying life. And the Fool is, I think, ready to engage with life, ready for novelty, ready for progress, ready for whatever the day is going to bring, you know, whether it's new relationships or new challenges. This is someone who's kind of excited for the new. excited for how life is going to, what's the dance going to be like today? Almost like every day is a new day. Every day is different in a way. And it might be that you're repeating a lot of the same things every day. Maybe you do have, you see similar people every day. You see the same faces. Maybe you have, similar places you go, the same job every day. The days can be the same, right? But this is an energy, like even if you're going to work at the same job, you go into the same office every day, it's not like it just feels depressing like Groundhog's Day. Every day is like, I wonder what's going to happen at work today. I wonder what's going to happen on my way to school today. Like there's always novelty everywhere you look. But some days we look at our life, we feel like it's Groundhog's Day. We're just depressed. Oh, here I go, waking up at the same time, eating the same breakfast, going to work to see the same old people, but not you. No, every morning you wake up and you just say, this day is going to be an adventure. And yeah, maybe you're going to have the same thing for breakfast. Maybe you're going to wear the same clothes and go to the same job and do the same work. But there's always novelty everywhere you look. There's always an adventure. There's always some unknown and unexpected. It's all about mindset. It's all about what you're choosing to be aware of. Yeah, and this is really beautiful. You have your emperor, which is more disciplined and structured and serious and kind of like, doesn't have time for fun and games. And so we see a balance there between the emperor and the fool. Okay, the fool being really carefree and just wants novelty. The emperor kind of wants business as usual because we're trying to make progress. We're running a business here, right? The business of life. And the fool is saying life's not a business, life is an adventure. And you've got the blending of both of those, and I think that is wonderful. I think that with the fool here, there's kind of this, I'm getting a kind of a suggestion for you to try one joyful activity. Try one new joyful activity today, just for like 10 minutes. Just do something fun, just for the heck of it. That just brings you a little bit of joy, makes you smile a little bit. I think you already do. I think I'm preaching to the choir here, but just so we can continue getting the blending of these energies. Knowing when to take life very seriously, when to take ourselves seriously, when to reflect and sort of analyze and be aware of how we're behaving and how we might need to adjust ourselves, and then just being free. Just being free. Yeah. Now, the Queen of Cups here, at the end, this is a card that's sort of reflecting on the past. I think this is like a depth of emotion. And this is the first encounter we have with the water energy. So I think it's very important, like at the end of the day, because the queens, right, they always deal with the endings. And so it kind of feels like at the end of the day, you're going to reflect back on the day, and you're going to feel the feelings. You're going to process everything. What did I feel today? How did my day feel to me? Everyday processing, because again, we're kind of taking that 24-hour, the diurnal unit, and processing the emotions, every day, kind of having that time, taking intentional time in the evenings to sit down and feel your feelings, to look back and reflect on what the day was like. What was its significance? What did it teach you? What did you learn? How do you understand it? What were the ups and downs, and the twists and turns? Or how do you feel about the twists and turns? Processing all those emotions and not trying to rush past those either. So I feel like you have such a balance. You have an organized mind, and you also have a very clear perception of your own emotional depth. This is the card of radical self-honesty, radical emotional transparency. I think you're someone who's very aware of their emotions. You don't let them interfere with your work or what you're doing and your daily kind of activities, but you're very aware of them, and you do take intentional time to process those. And I think that is very, very good. Emotional depth, emotional transparency and honesty, lifting the veil. Taking that time to sit down and lift the veil of our feelings, to get down into those depths, to see the significance and to really appreciate even how you're doing in life and what you're doing. Okay. To appreciate your life as a whole. Let's look at the mystery card. Yeah, I'm curious. We have a lot of suggestions. I think we have maybe the Justice card, the Temperance card, we have the Empress card, we have a 9 or a 10 of Cups, or Pentacles again. Maybe we have some Ace, it could be an Ace maybe. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. I'd like to see a 6 of Cups maybe. Let's see what we have. It's a 5 of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense too. Because as we're processing those emotions, some days don't feel so good. Other days do. And even when we're in the feeling, we have a 5 here, I think we know that we have to look at our emotions. So that's what the 5 is. The 5 is basically your emotions. Your feelings are saying, hey, over here, come look at me. Come feel me, And you're doing that. And some days it's going to be sad. Some days, disappointed. That's what a 5 of Cups is, really. It's disappointment. Or it's the potential for disappointment. It's kind of saying like we can choose to focus on the negative, and we have to acknowledge that 3 of Cups. Okay, that's a celebration that didn't happen. Okay, doesn't feel so good. It's 3 of Cups, right? Spilled out on the ground. 3 of Cups is a card of celebrations. It's a wish that we had, and well, it's spilled out on the ground. Okay, well, today didn't go so well. But we're looking at that 2 of Cups, and we're saying it doesn't change how I feel about this thing. I can have negative emotions. That doesn't mean that I am a negative emotion. That doesn't mean that I have any less love for what for the life that you're leading. And I think that you understand how those emotions are not permanent. This is, again, kind of a card of those ups and downs. The emotional roller coaster that we're on, which we call life, yeah? And it doesn't diminish your commitment. It doesn't diminish your heck yes, 1,000% choice. It doesn't diminish your joy. It doesn't diminish your confidence. In fact, it probably adds to it. The fact that you feel sometimes a so-called negative emotion, or let's say an unpleasant emotion, it just reminds you that you really do care about what you're doing. If you never felt sad, if you never felt any kind of, I don't even know what to call it, not negative so much, but unpleasant maybe, unpleasant feelings. If you never felt any unpleasant feelings, probably aren't really a heck yes committed kind of person here. Kind of apathetic toward life, whatever. Doesn't matter. No, it matters greatly. You're a very sensitive person. You're very emotional. But the difference is that you don't let those emotions drive the car, but you don't ignore them either. When something spills out and fails and there's a disappointment, when the party doesn't happen today, you can look at it and you can say, yeah, that sucks, that hurts. I'm sad. But you know that there's love right around the corner. That 2 of Cups is still there behind you. And so no matter how many bad days you have, you're never running out of love. And I think you know that we don't want to identify with the emotions. We want to identify them. We don't want to identify with them. You see? And so you really, like with all of this being said, your emotional health is like real nice. Okay? I think that you've done a lot of emotional clearing, emotional purging, and karmic work, and energy work and spiritual work, dealing with your emotions. You have a very healthy emotional state. The way that you process the emotions, the way that you deal with them and acknowledge them and feel them is, to me, seems very healthy with these cards. And that seems to be the emphasis here. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.